Good afternoon, it's Jack Woodrup from verticaljumping.com, and today I'm going to talk about jump squats. This is a follow-on video from last week. We did trap bar jump squats last week, and I was talking about using the trap bar to develop maximal power. What that showed was that the jump squat is a great exercise, and it's an excellent alternative to the Olympic lifts for your vertical jump training. But you don't have to use a trap bar to do jump squats. You can use all sorts of different things, and today I'm going to show you some of the options and talk about the pros and cons of the different types of methods for incorporating jump squats into your program. So first up, we've got your barbell jump squat. Now, the barbell jump squat is very good because you can load it with many different weights. It's very simple to change the load. With an Olympic bar, I guess the only downside is the minimum weight is 20 kilos, which is what the empty bar is. So if 20 kilos is too heavy for you to do jump squats, then perhaps the barbell jump squat is not going to be a good choice for you, but it's pretty flexible. The downside to it from a jump squat perspective is it can be a little bit sore on your shoulders when you're doing them if you don't hold it very firm onto your upper back. So anyway, I have 40 kilos on the bar, which is what I used last week for the trap bar jump squat, so we'll do a few reps and you can see what I mean. Okay, so there's the barbell jump squat. Another option, which you will have seen in one of my recent videos, is medicine balls. Now, medicine balls are pretty good, they're readily available. Because you're holding the weight in front of you, it works your core a little bit more to hold yourself upright. The downside for medicine ball jump squats is often finding a medicine ball that is going to be heavy enough to challenge you sufficiently, but because it's a little bit lighter than perhaps you would use with the barbell, you can do more reactive type jumps, so we'll do a few of those. So you can do that a little bit easier than you can with a barbell. Another option is the weight vest. Now, this is a heavy weight vest. I've got about 25 to 30 kilos in here. I'm not actually sure off the top of my head. The beauty of weight vests are that... Actually, I'll pop it on first. There we go. One of the advantages of a weight vest is that it's very easy to adjust the weights depending on the model you have. This is adjustable all the way up to 30 kilos, but you can take the weights out in half-kilo increments. It also frees your arms up to do a variety of different jumps. So when you're jumping, you can get your arms more involved than you can with, say, a barbell or a medicine ball jump squat. The one downside I feel with weight vest jump squats is that they do tend to bounce around even if you have a really good fitting one, so you can't do sort of running jumps. And even some of the reactive type jumps that I'll show you in a minute can sometimes bounce around a little bit, but it's a pretty good option for the jump squat. Anyway, so you can see you can do vertical jumps pretty easy. And you can use your arms freely. Right, I'm getting quite puffed doing all this. The next one on the list is the sandbag jump squat. Now, I like the sandbag jump squat. You just pop the sandbag up on your shoulders like that. Because it's soft, it sort of moulds to your upper back, which is a bit easier than the barbell. But the downside to sandbags that they're not very easy to change the load around. This is a 25 kilo sandbag. I've got a 35 kilo sandbag behind me, but if I wanted to use lighter or heavier, then, well, I couldn't use the sandbags, obviously. So there's a few sandbag jump squats. A good option if you happen to have one that's a suitable weight. I'll just grab some dumbbells. I've grabbed a couple of 12.5 kilo dumbbells. I've got 25 kilos worth of dumbbell weight. Dumbbells are also similar to barbells. They're quite a good option because you can easily change the weight. I could just as easily have grabbed a couple of 15s or some 10s or something heavier. But that's a pretty good option. They do take your hands and arms out of the equation, so they do limit some of the jumps that you can do, but as you can see, the dumbbell jump squat is pretty easy to do. Righto, the last version of the jump squat is the power jumper jump squat. Now this is probably my favourite version of my favourite way to add resistance to jumps because it's very versatile. I'll just pop it on and show you what I mean. So I've popped the power jumper on, my arms are free to jump, pretty easy to pop on. As you saw, it takes about 10 seconds to do. One of the things I like about the power jumper is it actually weighs virtually nothing, so it's a bit easier on your joints when you're jumping. Because of the bands trying to contract, they overspeed the eccentric, which develops reactive strength. A little bit better than some of the other methods. The downside is it's not as easy to adjust the resistance. You can get different chords. You can go up to 3 chords in here. You can get different resistance on the chords. But it's a pretty good option, and you can do bounding, skipping, various hopping drills, etc. in the power jumper that you can't do so easily with some of the other methods. Anyway, that is a quick demonstration of your basic jump squat. If you use your imagination, you don't necessarily have to do the basic up and down squat that I've shown you. If you've seen some of my other videos, you can do jumps from a seated position using resistance to increase your rate of force development. You can do sort of split squats with weight, split jumps with weight. A whole bunch of different jumps you can do. If you go to verticaljumping.com, go to the exercises section, you'll see a whole bunch of different jumping exercises. It's very easy to add a little bit of resistance to them. Jump squats really do bridge the gap between your strength and the speed of application of that strength, which makes them an excellent exercise for improving your vertical jump. And if you're not using some form of jump squat in your training, I would certainly look at finding a few ways to incorporate them in. I think you'll see some good results from doing that. Anyway, that is my quick jump squat video. I've worked up a little bit of a sweat doing it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.